Draymond chokehold Green. Oh, Lordy Lord. Am I surprised? No. Am I surprised? No. If you guys know Draymond, that's how Draymond gets down. But from my perspective as a therapist, as men, we lack impulse control and we tend to have these impulsive behaviors. So I'm gonna break down what that looks like for us as we review this video from Draymond chokehold Green. Y'all stay tuned because we're gonna talk about it right now. All right, let's see what happened.
Working on Wiggins, little step back three. And so we're scoreless. We'll stay 0-0 the first 2 minutes.
Hold on, first and foremost, the game ain't even started. It's 0-0. It's like it's 0-0 first quarter. Like the game, nobody even scored yet. That is wild. I didn't even notice that until just now. Nobody even scored. Like the whole, nobody even scored yet. It is already cracking. Already cracking. All right, let's get into it.
And then look at Klay Thompson.
Oh, so Klay Thompson and it looked like McDaniels is getting into it. All right, Draymond chokehold Green comes out of left with the chokehold. Let's run it back all the way.
Stay 0-0 the first 2 minutes. And then look at Klay Thompson and McDaniels. What is going on with that? Wow. You got a full-on fracas going on. Draymond came in to defend Klay. This got out of hand very quickly.
Wow. So it looked like Klay Thompson and McDaniels, they were kind of getting into it. And it seems as if what happened is the other player, Rudy came through and it looked like he was, I don't know, it looked as if he was like trying to pull Klay off of his teammate, but it also looked like Rudy was actually choking Klay too, from my perspective. But Draymond being Draymond, and I don't want to say that just like to validate what he's doing, but this isn't the first time he's done this. This isn't the first time. Like you just expected. We surprised. Like even the announcer was saying,
Look at Klay Thompson's jersey. It's ripped up.
Yes. Even the announcer was saying, like, look at his jersey. Like Klay Thompson, like this ain't you. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. This is crazy. So I think his jersey was ripped up.
That's more than a scuffle. We're gonna have to go to replay.
Draymond looked like he came back to his senses right here. He like everybody like, bro, what the what are you doing, bro? Everybody looking like, what are you doing?
Look at all of this, but Klay Thompson's
he like, yeah, I'm gonna see you later. That's oh man, this is all wild. This is all wild.
All of this, but Klay Thompson's never been involved in anything like that. What was?
Have you guys ever seen Klay be involved in anything like this? I haven't. I don't know Klay as being aggressive or anything like that, but his jersey literally ripped, which Draymond didn't do. But it seemed like there's 4 people involved in this whole situation. Poor impulse control all around.
Jaden McDaniels doing?
They were going at each other's heads. That was serious.
I mean, as you said, Klay's going to need a whole new jersey. Klay.
I wonder if they have extra jerseys. Does the NBA like hold extra jerseys for folks just in the back? They probably do if it's a home game or I don't know, maybe. But that jersey is for sure done. And again, the game ain't even started. Yet.
Is as mild-mannered a player as we've ever seen.
They're just running down the floor and they got tangled up. I want to see who initiated.
Sheesh. Yeah, I think that jersey is donezo. For sure.
At first, though,
all right, we're gonna run it back and see who did what.
Here's a look at it.
So Klay grabbed up McDaniels.
Kind of coming together.
McDaniels was like, nah, you're not about to be grabbing me up.
Klay's body.
And Klay's like, nah, just because it's basketball, we're gonna do some football moves, we're gonna do some football drills.
Boxing him out.
And now McDaniels grabs his jersey and throws him down.
His hand on his jersey.
And now Klay's like, nah, you ain't putting me down. They like low key just did a little 360 dance.
Jaden McDaniels.
And now here comes Rudy. Rudy comes through, number 27. It looks as if he's trying to pull him off, but the way it seems,
Puts his hand on it.
it was barely shown. But Draymond was all he was already about to. He was already coming. He saw it from a mile. He was already coming. He was already coming. Draymond came through.
His jersey.
Yeet.
Now they're swinging each other
Now, old boy looking like he's doing a backstroke swim.
around. Gobert gets in there. Draymond's got him in a headlock. There's a lot happening here. Well, there were no punches thrown, which is good.
I guess there wasn't no punches thrown, right? But I would say either way, this is a crazy situation. I want to break down just a bit why this is so important to look into because again, with men, me specializing in men's mental health, we tend to have aggressive behaviors and we don't tend to really think about things before we actually act on them. You know what I mean? But in this situation, it looks as if it became like a tough, like again, basketball is not a physical sport, but it is, uh, I guess it is a physical sport, but it's not a contact sport. I'll use that word. Like it's not a contact sport. But it looked as if like, you know, McDaniels and Clay was trying to hold their ground, got out of hand. But in the moment, especially, when you're playing a game, your adrenaline's pumping and you don't really have too much, too much logic in a lot of different things, especially when it comes to your physical, your physical body and your presence. So how can you actually control impulses in that moment? Right. So this is interesting because when we do talk about controlling impulses in the moment, typically when you're in a state of like fear or you're in a state of heightened state, anxiety's up, fear is, you know whether you guys believe it or not, there was a lot of four people was in fear, a lot of people was in fear, um it turned into a fight response instead of people flying. Like when you're in fear, you're anxious, you have a fight or flight response and saying, "Okay, they chose to fight, they chose that smoke," right? So when we do talk about what that looks like as far as how to control our impulses in the moment, it really, really boils down to, sometimes your personality, who you are, instinctively, we talk about instinctively who you are. It boils down to like, are you an aggressive person? Are you, one that would actually talk things out in a heightened state? Do you freeze up when things happen? So many times even when I talk to my clients about how do I control that in the moment or how do I control these behaviors in the moment, a lot of times it's hard to do that because your personality may be based on how you react. Trauma may be in the state of how you react. Draymond may have actually dealt with some things, or maybe in this situation he was being very protective of his teammate. So when you're protective of your teammate, it's like he probably had some situations, or or that's maybe just his code. That's just his moral compass. And that goes back to when you're in an impulsive behavior, or excuse me, in a heightened state, your impulsive behavior is going to really boil down to like the essence of who you are, what your moral compass is. What are your core beliefs? You know, what is your think? Your think is going to automatically revert to like what your core beliefs are. Like, what do you feel like you should do in that moment? So when we do talk about these things, we have to understand that, you know, impulse control with men, typically we tend to want to fight. We don't want to fight. We don't want to back down. We don't want to seem like a BI, woo, 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 whatever. But we still have to really, really work on our core beliefs and how we see ourselves as men, because typically, again, when we come off as aggressive behaviors and we do these things, it's based on like how we feel in the moment and based on what we believe, what our core beliefs are. So my hopes is that in this situation, obviously I know, just fast forwarding, Draymond got ejected, um, Rudy got ejected. I believe Clay stayed. McDaniels. I think he was ejected. I think a lot of them was they got a. I think Clay got a. He got teched up, and I think the other gentleman got teched up too. So after they replayed it and everything, yeah, this was an interesting one. I know this is something that okay, like how does mental health relate to that? And it relates to it by impulse control. When we do talk about changing behaviors and wanting to be better, we have to change our core beliefs and we have to change like, challenge those things that were taught to us or those traumas that you had so that you don't respond in a certain way. You know what I mean? So, but again, no shade to any players. Draymond Green is, he's like the Dennis Rodman of today. A great defensive player, but he's a ride or die. That is what he does. Like again, this isn't the first time you guys. He's a very very aggressive player. You know, so I appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank you guys for watching. And shout out to Dr. TK. Dr. TK is actually the person that slid me this video. She was like, "Hey, I think you need to review this." So I was like, "Okay, let me break that down a bit." So shout out to Dr. TK. I'm gonna put her information right here if you guys are interested in following her. She's a great, great therapist, great coach. She has a lot of courses. If you guys are therapists or if you guys looking to start your own practice, she's a very, very good resource to have. So you guys check her out, Dr. TK. Thank you again, Dr. TK, for sliding me this video. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you guys hit the link in my bio and also in the description. I have a free ebook, so you guys make sure you guys check that out. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all take care. Terrence the Therapist. Peace.